Hi guys, and welcome to the Weekly Web3 Digest. I am Jacob Block and I am the founder of Magnet. We're starting these videos because we're in the trenches as a team every single day in trying to hack growth for the projects that we work with, and therefore we have a pretty good feel of what's going on. So the idea of these videos is to give you a quick breakdown of what is going on in the markets right now and also how it is affecting builders in the space. Without further ado, let's get into it. And this is the week that we're going into is the 17th of March 2025. So the theme of this week is that the market still stands uncertain. A lot of people had great expectations coming into 2025 and it's been super tough. But despite what's going on in the actual market, personally, I think this is a great time to be building in crypto. Because when the market is down, you get that opportunity to really build. When the market is up, you're trying to grow as quickly as possible, and often that can happen on unstable structures. So right now you have the ability to make progressions in other sides of the business, so when the market does pick up, you can take full advantage of it. So let's say my tip of the week is to keep building, and that's a good thing. Unless you're a huge project and you're, running really kind of tight on the funding line right now, you're in a good position to continue building and get ready to take full advantage of the market when it does turn. Anyway, on to the points. So the first one is the Bitcoin is moving still strong and has a lot of institutional backing and money still coming in. We already know that this is a Bitcoin cycle, but asset managers like BlackRock now hold billions and billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin. There is still good institutional flow coming into this market. And from my side, we might also see potentially bigger inflows into the market from actual countries. The US has already taken a very pro-crypto stance. The summit last week was a little bit disappointing because they didn't say that they were going to go and openly acquire Bitcoin. They more spoke about how they're going to get it through asset forfeiture and other things. But other countries might follow suit and also set up reserves for crypto. And they might be countries that don't have as much Bitcoin or Ethereum or other major coins as the US does, and therefore they need to go and buy it. And that could bring a lot of volume to the crypto market. So we're still in a good position, especially in this Bitcoin-led cycle. And I'm super excited with Bitcoin taking major headlines to see projects start to launch this year that are really kind of building on top of what Bitcoin has done for the industry. And there's a few projects that even we're working with a Magnet right now that are Bitcoin-based that have really excited launches ahead. So super happy to be involved in those and looking forward to their journeys. The next bit of news that I want to cover is Liberty Financial. So this is let's call it a decentralized finance project that has been set up by Donald Trump. And they have raised $590 million. The sale actually did start a little bit slow, but then Justin Sun, the founder of HTX, and of course Tron, came and put $30 million in, which really started to bring in that crypto crowd. So what we take from a growth perspective here is how important having kind of influential backing can be to token sales. And this is a great example. Liberty Financial, Justin Sun coming in after a slow start and then really making the difference on their sale. And if you're not watching it, you should watch Liberty Financial. It's going to be a super interesting one. Their tokens are going to be launched for the initial 12 months. Trump's still going to be in office when those tokens have vested and are available for trading. So yeah, really exciting to see kind of someone so big doing something and building in crypto. Super excited to see someone with such power, arguably the most powerful person on the planet right now, building in crypto, and is still going to be in power when these tokens become available to trade. So I'm excited to see where we end up with Liberty Financial and what it kickstarts, if it goes well, what it can do for the crypto space. Next up, we have Robinhood. So again, one of the biggest exchanges, especially in the US. They have listed, surprisingly, 3 meme coins this week. They've listed Popcat, they've listed Pengu, Haji Penguins, and they have listed Peanut. This is surprising to me because the time to list these was when volumes were going crazy, right? Popcat, is 76% down, and Peanut is 90% down, Pengu is 30% down. So we're all kind of in the camp of, okay, meme coin season is kind of dying, but then you have one of the biggest exchanges going to list these tokens. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether they actually can bring any trading volume for the meme coin market via Robinhood, or whether the data shows otherwise, and in fact the general consensus that meme coins are dead is actually going to play true. The next thing I want to cover, and this is arguably one of the most exciting, is the fact that there is going to be a wallet in Telegram which is going to expand to over 50 tokens, and it's going to have an earn feature as well. So essentially, Telegram will bring in a wallet. Again, Telegram's sixth biggest app in the world with over 900 million users, almost a billion. And it's going to enable people to send and receive cryptocurrency through the Telegram app. This is humongous for adoption. It's going to obviously start with the TON network, which again is quite a bullish thing for anyone who's holding TON. Again, the reason why this is, TON is a blockchain that was initially founded by Havel Dora's brother, who's also involved in Telegram. They had to distance themselves from that, but in 2021, I think, because of pressure from a legal perspective. However, they're still strong TON supporters, and that's what they're integrating. So with potentially big tokens like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on being available on the TON network, sendable through this wallet by 900 million Telegram users, this is big news, and it still goes to show that people are building in this space regardless to outside noise. The next point in the digest is going to come down to something which is not as positive, and it's that a crypto trader actually lost $215,000 trying to transact in stablecoins on Uniswap. So they tried to transfer around $215,000 of USDC to USDT, I believe, and a medbot basically ran an attack and drained all of the USDC liquidity and then added it back after this transaction. So the person trying to do the transaction actually lost 98% of their value. And of course, this is terrible, but the Uniswap founder actually come out and was like, look, this isn't something that's kind of happened on our watch. We built Uniswap to protect against these medbot attacks. And they're hinting that something shady has gone on here. So they're trying to distance themselves from it. But on a grand scheme of things, it's not a great look that even when you're trying to transact stable coins on one of the biggest, if not the biggest, DeFi protocols has failed. So it's just one of those things to be careful of. And yeah, again, this might be shady business. And again, it could have been the perpetrator who kind of did it to himself for other reasons, which might be things like money laundering, who knows. But either way, it's news right now. And if anything, it's just a sign to be careful with such large transactions. The next part of the digest is to do with Russia. So apparently Russia have been using crypto to bypass Western sanctions, so it can still do business with, say, the likes of China and India. Again, I'm reading about this. This isn't factual. It's clearly what's kind of in the news right now. But to be honest with you, countries using cryptocurrency for international trade generally can be very, very positive. It's much easier to transfer large sums of money. Also, when you avoid like the, say, centralized banking system, fees are a lot cheaper, of course, and it's about control as well, right? No one's trying to get in the way and stop transactions from happening. So generally what this is kind of resulting in and labeling is that countries are using cryptocurrencies for international trade. And this is a great use case of cryptocurrency, in my opinion. And potentially it's something that other countries will start to do in the near future if they're not already. So again, this one is, this use case is a little bit different. What I'm trying to do is think about how this can be positive for crypto if other countries, for general international trade, which could be a million things being traded, right? Use cryptocurrency and why they would actually use it as well. Yeah, it's something to keep an eye on. Countries' involvement in crypto, whether it's countries trying to follow, a US with having some form of reserve, or like I said here, countries using crypto for international trade. And then the last point I want to discuss in this weekly digest is to do with stablecoins. So the stablecoin market has surpassed Ethereum's market cap now, over $235 billion. ETH's currently sitting at around $220 billion. And a lot of analysts are predicting this to go much, much higher. So apparently the prediction is that stablecoin market will be almost $10 trillion by the next decade. Now that's a long stretch away from where we are now, but Stablecoins are, again, following on from like the previous point about why countries could use crypto for international trade. They could use stablecoins so that and trade kind of the digital version of whatever their currency is. And this again would get you to that $10 trillion stablecoin market, right? And this has so many advantages, like I said earlier, to do with lower fees, speed, efficiency, everything that you don't get in the traditional banking system, especially when it's cross-border payments, right? There's going to be other driving forces of stablecoins as well, and some for the good, some not so for the good. But yeah, personally, I think stablecoins will be arguably the biggest sector in crypto in the near future, and the recent growth has continued to prove that. And it does go to show that adoption of technology in crypto is growing despite the market not growing right now. It's something to note that you can't always judge the growth of an industry by its market, and that's what we do too often in crypto. We think that we're not moving forward in, say, Web3 as a landscape because the market's down so bad, but in fact we actually are. And when you look at it from a different perspective like I am here, you can see that quite clearly. But anyway, that is pretty much the end of the weekly digest for this week. It is our first one. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please let us know in the comments and I will do one of these every single week. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some value in here. And yeah, let's hope for a better week on the markets in crypto. And if not a better week, then we continue building, preparing for better market conditions, making sure that we're ready as builders to take advantage of them. See you next week.